Peace and blessings. Welcome back to the channel once again, where we talk all things health and healing from a holistic perspective, and today will be no different. Today we're going to talk about the importance of the immune system, what to eat to boost your immune system. This is really important because right now we're in the dead of winter. It's January. It's the beginning of 2024. And so I'm seeing a lot of people who are getting sick. A lot of people getting mysterious, infections. They don't know if it's the flu. They don't know if it's COVID. They don't know what it is. And so what I'm going to do is talk about what you need to eat to boost your immune system, especially during the winter, where our immune systems tend to become the most easily compromised. And there's a whole host of reasons of why that happens. But one of the most important is that, as you can see now, like the sun isn't out like it was out 4 months ago. Okay, as we transition into the fall and then into the winter months, we get less and less sun, especially around this time of the year. We're getting the least amount of sun. And so I think it's important for us to know and understand that as nature shifts, we have to shift. Okay? So it's not just the fact that it's colder, because that does play a role, but it's also the fact that we're just not outside as much. We're not getting enough sun exposure. We're not eating, things that are more raw, like fruits, vegetables, salads. We tend to eat things that are heartier, things that are heavier when it comes to what we eat. And as a result, we tend to get sicker during these months because we tend to make poor decisions around our health during this time. So I'm going to give you 8. Count them, 8 foods you need to eat to make sure that you're boosting your immune system during the winter. Please share this video. I think it's going to be very helpful, not only for you, but the people in your circle, the people you care about. And remember, sharing is caring. And so I do this information so that people know and understand that there is a natural method to not only reclaiming your health, but it's also a natural method to making sure that you keep your health, okay? You don't lose it in the first place. And so that's what we're gonna be diving into today. As you can see, the background is a little bit different today. We're here on Sankofa Tropical Farm, my fruit farm, and there are things growing, even though that this is my winter. It's like 72 degrees here. And but as you can see in the background, that tree right there, that's sapodilla or naseberry, which is delicious. And so I'm excited about that one. It's now ready to fruit, and you can see the fruit on the trees right there. And then behind me, you also have that banana tree right there. You also have a soursop tree right there. So just giving you a little idea about the background. You got some coconut trees on the other side of me here. So it's a beautiful place to be. And so with that being said, I was here on the farm walking around, and a lot of my friends are texting me, asking me questions around the immune system, because a lot of them are getting sick. And so what we're gonna do today is, again, I'm gonna give you 8. I'm gonna give you 8 things that you need to eat so that you boost your immune system, especially during this time of year. So, but before we get into that, what's important to know about the immune system is that the immune system isn't like this one-handed system. It has multiple legs to it. It has multiple ways that it protects us from foreign invaders, okay? Protects us from getting sick. And so one of those methods is physical barriers, like our skin is a physical barrier. Okay, even in our eyes, if something were to get in our eyes, as soon as it did, our eyes will begin to tear up, and as it begins to tear up, that liquid is getting whatever went in our eyes out. Okay, we also have cell membranes. Okay, you have a cellular membrane around the 75 trillion cells that are in our bodies. And that cellular membrane is there to decide what goes in the cell and what goes out. Now that going in is very important, because whatever can go in can affect that cell. And remember, one cell that goes rogue can become cancer in your body. So our cellular membrane is also there to protect us as well, too, on a cellular level. We also have mucous membranes, okay? You'll find our mucous membranes like in our nostrils. You'll notice that whenever you start to inhale something through your nostrils that is an irritant, that is an allergen, that shouldn't be in the body, that is a bacteria, that is a virus, etc. Well, you notice that we have little hairs or cilia inside of our noses, okay? And inside of our nose is there to protect us. And so when it does detect anything that shouldn't be there, those mucous membranes begin to secrete mucus. And that mucus is there to catch those viruses, those bacteria, those allergens. Okay, so we have mucous membranes as well too. We also have what are called chemical defenses as well too. Okay, so we have all kind of chemical, like our bodies will literally produce hydrogen peroxide to kill off a foreign invader. Okay, so we got chemical forces that are being created in our body. I always tell people the greatest sort of embodiment of chemistry is our body. It's not the chemistry that goes on outside of our bodies. It's the chemistry that is going on the inside of our bodies, okay? We also have detoxification systems as a form of protection as well too. We have our liver, our kidneys, our lymphatic system, etc. And they're there to protect us in the event that something gets in the body that is toxic and now has to be removed from the body or be taken from this harmful form into a less harmful form, okay? So we got detoxification systems as well too. We also have our white blood cells, okay, that protect us in the event that some kind of fungus, bacteria, microbe gets in the body that is harmful to us. We have white blood cells. We also have lymphocytes, okay, in the form of T cells that come from our lymphatic system, okay, which I was just about to get into, our lymphatic system, which is our sewage system, okay? It dumps waste out of the body, but it also collects waste. It collects bacteria, viruses, it collects cancer, okay? And not only removes it from the body, but it also kills it and then removes it from the body. So we have all of these protective measures that make up our immune system. And so with all these protective measures, you're probably asking yourself, well, how the hell do we get sick? Well, these things break down, and they break down for a number of reasons. And what I always tell people is the number one cause of why we break down or create dis-ease in our bodies is because of toxicity and deficiency. Okay, so I go at length talking about toxicity, but it's also important to correct deficiencies, okay? Deficiencies, especially when it pertains to our immune system, like vitamin D, vitamin C, and vitamin A, okay? Hugely important. I'll talk a little bit about them in a second, but if you have deficiencies in those areas, vitamin C, D, and A are very important. And the reason why they're important because those vitamins are immune boosters. They boost the immune system. And they're also activators. They activate white blood cells as well too. And you know, I told you that they were a part of that protection mechanism or system that we call the immune system. Okay, so these vitamins activate these white blood cells, okay, to get active. You see what I'm saying? So when you're deficient in them, now you don't activate when it's time for when a foreign invader comes into the body. Okay, so this is why it's important to correct these deficiencies. Also, essential fatty acids like EPA and DHA, omega-3 fatty acids, very important because guess what they do? They lower inflammation in the body. And what you'll discover when you're looking at an immune response, a large part of what makes an immune response so severe is the inflammation that is being caused both by the virus itself and the immune system. So when you have enough omega-3 fatty acids in your diet, guess what? Now you got these fire hydrants or these, methods of being able to pull out the fires in your body that we call inflammation. Okay, so you got to have the essential fatty acids. You got to have zinc. And a lot of people are very deficient in zinc. And the reason why zinc is so important is because zinc is a trace mineral that activates white blood cells. The same way vitamins D, C, and A activate white blood cells, guess what? Zinc does the same thing. So if you're deficient in zinc, it's hugely important to understand that it's going to affect other areas. Namely, in this case, it's going to affect the immune system, okay? And the other thing I think is important in terms of deficiency is you have to switch from this fast food processed diet to a whole foods diet. And the reason why that's so important is because when you're eating processed foods, you're eating foods that are deficient. And so the whole purpose of food is to provide the body with nourishment, to provide the body with energy. But if you're eating fast food, it does not give you energy, okay? True energy, efficient energy. And it most certainly does not give you nourishment because most of the vitamins and minerals have been removed. All of the fiber has been removed, okay? And they removed that so it has a long shelf life, okay? But it doesn't extend your life. So this is why it's so important that you got to correct deficiencies in that you're going from this processed standard American diet to a more whole foods plant-based diet, okay? So without any further ado, I think let's get into what are those eight things that you should be eating to boost the immune system. Now, I'll show you a little bit of the basket that I got here. All right, so you look in here. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I'm very intentional about kind of walking around the farm, grabbing things off the trees. And when I'm able to do this on a consistent basis, every time I eat fruit, every time I'm picking something that is a whole food, I'm adding nourishment to our bodies. Okay, so when you're thinking about how am I gonna nourish my body, you gotta think like this. This is a whole food, okay? I'll go over what's inside of here in just a second, but I wanted to show you that because I want you to understand what a whole food is. A whole food is one ingredient, okay? This is individual ingredients, okay? One ingredient, all right? We'll talk about what those are in just a second, but I think it's important, again, to understand what whole foods are. It's not the grocery store. Whole foods are what you get from nature. One ingredient, okay? So let's get started. Number one, the number one thing that you need to make sure you need to eat to boost your immune system is prebiotics or feed the good bacteria in your gut. Now, why is that important? Now, I'll talk about what prebiotics are. That's important because the good bacteria in your gut, AKA probiotics, okay, that's in your gut, that good bacteria, it feeds off of something that makes it grow and stronger. And you want to feed the good bacteria in your gut because 80% of your immune system is made by that bacteria or probiotics that is in your gut. Not the probiotics that are in the capsules, the probiotics that are in your gut, okay? They eat prebiotics, okay? What are prebiotics? Prebiotics are non-digestible fibers and compounds that come from whole foods, okay? Non-digestible fibers and compounds that come from whole foods. That means that you can't get them from eggs, you can't get them from meat, you can't get them from processed foods because processed foods have no fiber in them. They're non-digestible fibers and compounds, okay? Now, this is important because even if you eat whole foods, but you overcook them, you kill the fiber in the food. So you got to get your fair share of raw food in the form of green smoothies, in the form of salads as well too, in the form of eating fruit. You got to eat raw foods, okay? You got to eat foods in their original form, okay? Now, again, these prebiotics feed the probiotics, okay? And let me give you a few examples of some whole foods that you find in nature that have a lot of prebiotics in them. Okay, chicory root, okay? Onions, leeks, legumes like lentils, legumes like chickpeas, okay? Some of my favorite, okay? Also fruits. Again, I just was talking about that. Fruits, all right? Fruits are hugely important because they're gonna have a lot of prebiotics in them, okay? So you gotta get your prebiotics to feed your probiotics that is in your gut, All right, hugely important. Number 2, berries. Berries are very important because they are highly concentrated with both vitamin C and E, which are powerful antioxidants. Okay, chickies, buck up, buck up. See the chickens over there. Let you see the chickens real quick. All right, so gotta love nature. But yeah, you gotta eat your berries, and your berries are highly concentrated with both vitamin C and E, which are powerful antioxidants, which help boost the immune system. Also, berries are highly concentrated with flavonoids that are, example would be anthocyanin, which you'll find in blueberries and blackberries. Okay, so eat your blueberries and blackberries. I eat them like they're like snacks to me. That's what I eat for snacks, is berries. Okay, so in between meals, when I'm eating something in between meals, most likely is berries. Okay, because now I'm getting not only the vitamin C and E, which are powerful antioxidants, but I'm also getting flavonoids like anthocyanin, but also berries are high in prebiotics as well too. Okay, so I'm getting this whole minutia of everything I need to build my immune system, which is why I love berries. And also elderberries. Elderberries are antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial. So they cover everything. They cover antifungal as well too. So get your berries on, okay? Number 2. Number 3, nuts and seeds. Why nuts and seeds? Because nuts and seeds are high in vitamin E. As I said before with the berries, vitamin E is a potent antioxidant. Also, nuts and seeds are high in B vitamins. They're also high in omega-3 fatty acids as well too. You remember I was talking about some of the deficiencies? And it's unfortunate that most people, when they go in their doctor, a lot of times they don't look at their omega-3 fatty acid content, so they don't know if they're deficient. But when you are deficient, your body will be inflamed. That is a key sign that you're deficient in omega-3 fatty acids. So you want to eat your nuts and seeds. And again, the omega-3 fatty acids are going to reduce the inflammation in your body, and they're going to enhance immune function. Okay, they're going to enhance immune function. All right. Number 4, medicinal mushrooms. Check out the chicken here. Check out the chicken, man. What you want, man? You want some? Nah, I ain't gonna give you. They're trying to get my fruit, man. Trying to stick me for my fruit, man. Not on my watch today. I'll come and feed you guys in a minute. All right? Come feed you in a minute. All right, so the next thing, medicinal mushrooms, okay? Medicinal mushrooms. Mushrooms are 80 to 90% water, okay? Give me a second. I'll come over there with you. All right, trying to stick me for my fruit. All right, so medicinal mushrooms are 80 to 90% water, so now you're getting hydrated. But also the really cool thing about medicinal mushrooms is that they boost the immune system as well too, okay? The other thing that'll be key for you is gonna be bell peppers, especially the red bell peppers. Why the red bell peppers? Because they're highly concentrated and rich in beta carotene, which boosts the immune system, which is an antioxidant. Okay, so bell peppers, and they're high in vitamin C. They're actually higher in vitamin C than oranges are. Okay, so you want to get your medicinal, you want to get your bell peppers. Okay, play with the chicken. I love nature, man. So bell peppers, and the cool thing about beta carotene, which bell peppers are high in, is that beta carotene converts into vitamin A. And what I say about vitamin A earlier, vitamin A, it not only activates white blood cells, but it also boosts the immune system. Okay, so you want to get your beta carotene on. So what I do is, instead of like using crackers or tortilla chips for my guacamole or, you know, my hummus, I use bell peppers. Okay, so now I'm making sure I get those in. Okay, so you got to get your bell pepper on. Sea veggies like Irish sea moss, which I've talked about before. So if you haven't watched that video, go learn about Irish sea moss. You could check it out on my website, but also algae. Okay, a lot of times The reason why I'm saying get your sea veggies is because sea vegetables, things that you'll only find these vegetables in the sea. Okay, iris, sea moss, seaweeds, algae. They contain things that we can't find here on the farm, on land. Okay, they're highly concentrated with iodine. Every cell in our body needs iodine. Okay, so you're getting your iodine on, which means that you're gonna have good thyroid health. Okay, but also sea vegetables like iris sea moss, Chondrus crispus, are really good for the immune system too, because they have a lot of fiber, prebiotics, again feeding that good probiotic. Okay, but they're also rich in a lot of omega-3 fatty acids as well too. So you want to get your sea vegetables on as well too. Also sunlight. Okay, you got to eat your sun. And how do we eat our sun? Well, you got to expose your skin to it. Okay, and that's really important. Whatever you put on your skin or your skin is exposed to, you're feeding your skin. Okay, so it's hugely important to know and understand that we got to get enough sunlight. Now I know we're in the dead of winter now, but whenever you get an opportunity to get in front of the sun or go sit in the sauna, like an infrared sauna, get your sun on. If you go on a vacation, when you go on a vacation, make sure you're in tank tops and shorts, fully exposing your skin to get as much vitamin D as possible. It's really important to understand that sunlight isn't just good for vitamin D, but it's also good because it energizes the infection fighting cells, okay, like T cells. All right, so it also energizes the body in that way as well too, and a host of other things, like keeping cortisol levels normalized. Okay, when your cortisol levels are too high, guess what? It suppresses your immune system. Okay, so you want to eat your sun, expose your skin to sun whenever the sun is out. Okay, and so what I try to do is the summertime leading up until, the fall, the winter, I'm outside in the sun so much because I'm building up those vitamin D stores. And the cool thing about vitamin D is that vitamin D is like a remote control. It modulates the immune system. It controls the immune system. It can turn certain things off, turn certain things on. Okay? It can activate when it's time to activate, whenever a foreign invader comes into the body. So if you don't have that remote control, you can't turn on the immune system, the TV. All right, so just imagine. All right, last thing, the very last thing is going to be ginger, which is one of my favorite. I eat or drink ginger in the form of a shot or in the form of tea almost every day. Why? Ginger is antimicrobial. It's also antifungal, which means that it'll help get rid of candida. And if you have a candida overgrowth in your body, guess what? That candida overgrowth in your body is going to be overstimulating your immune system for such a long period of time that guess what will happen? Your immune system will be suppressed. Okay? When you have these low-grade infections going on, like a overgrowth of, a candida in the body. Okay? So drinking ginger shots, putting ginger in your food, drinking ginger tea every day is going to help with that. All right? It also heals the gut flora. We know that ginger is good for nausea and things of that nature, but it's also good for healing the gut flora, which is really important because it helps to improve the absorption of nutrients when you do actually eat your whole foods. And a lot of people are eating the right things, but the unfortunate thing is they're eating the right things, but their gut is so unhealthy that they're not properly absorbing and breaking those things down. Okay? Because like I said before, your gut flora, the probiotics in your gut, that good bacteria, is not only there to provide 80% of your immune system, but it's also helping to break the food down, and it's also helping to absorb, pull out those nutrients as well too, and helps maintain a healthy body weight as well too. And then the last thing it really helps with is reducing inflammation. The ginger does. Okay, so if you eat these 8 things on a daily basis, incorporating them at least, 4 to 5 times a week, this is gonna help stimulate your immune system. Okay, now you gotta keep in mind, I told you about correcting the deficiency, so you gotta go back and start there first. And you can't put a whole bunch of toxins or unhealthy food in the body and expect this to work. But if you shift your lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle and do these 8 things, you're gonna be in there like swimwear. Now, let's get back to the fruit basket. What do I got here today? All right, so we got a ackee tree that grows here on the farm, as you can see. Once the ackee opens up like this, that's how you know it's ready. Okay, so we got ackee growing here on the farm. We got sugar apple, okay? You got the soursop that you see there and there. What else? We got, oh, you see this tree in the back there, the naseberry or the sapodilla. We have this as well too, as you can see in the background. And then we also have egg fruit in the basket, okay? So that's what's in the basket today. I hope you have enjoyed today's content. I hope that you'll apply this. I hope that you'll share this with somebody in your inner circle that you love and care about. And again, share this content, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep creating content. And until the next time, peace and blessings and Godspeed. I'm gonna go play with the chickens now.